Today we're going to be comparing the Alien and the XCube Ultra. How's it going, everybody? This is Andy with AskMeVapes.com, and I've seen a lot of you guys request this video. You want to see a comparison between the new Alien and the new XCube Ultra. So today that's what we're going to do. They are pretty similar devices and they both have a lot of the same features for temperature control and all of that good stuff. But we are going to take a look at some of the big differences between the two and some of the features that one of them has but the other one doesn't, and vice versa. So I have only done one of these before, and it was between the TFE8 and Crown 2. So if there is anything that I missed or anything you guys would like to see added or anything like that, please let me know down in the comments below and I'll be happy to include that in the next one. On top of that, if there's anything you do want to see compared, let me know in the comments down below as well. I'll do my best to get that out for you. So for this, it's going to be mostly up close. But for now, I'm going to lay out the features that the Alien has that the XCube Ultra does not, and then the features that the XCube Ultra has that the Alien does not. So we're going to start off with the Alien here, but like I said, most of this video is going to take place up close. I will follow up with a lot of these down below when I'm actually holding them side by side with a better view for you guys. For now, I'm just going to list them out real quick here. The Alien, the firing bar is a bit different than the XCube Ultra. You're going to see that better in the close-up. Obviously, the screen on the Alien is much different, much brighter, more information displayed, all of that. The Alien is also lighter and smaller than the XCube Ultra. The Alien can use a 25mm tank without any overhang. From what I've seen, the battery life does seem to be better on the Alien compared to the Ultra, which did surprise me because of the large screen. On the Ultra though, some of the features that this has that the Alien does not have is the colored firing bar, obviously right here. It also has the vibration notification feature that we talked about in the XCube Ultra video. It also has over-the-air updates, so you can update this wirelessly while you cannot update the Alien wirelessly. And that might sway you towards the XCube Ultra, but that's going to be up for you guys to decide. 25mm tanks do fit on the XCube Ultra, but there's a tiny bit of overhang compared to the Alien. Finally, the XCube Ultra, it feels much more hefty and sturdy in the hand. So if you're looking for something with more heft, heavier, and just feels more durable, then the XCube Ultra is the answer. We've got that out of the way. Let's go up, take a close-up look at these both, and I'll show you those differences better, and you can compare them to yourself side by side. All right, so here we have the close-up of the two. You can see them side by side. You can see the Alien is a good amount smaller than the XCube Ultra. So here's the screen on the Alien, and you can see a lot more information on here. You can see each battery right here. You see your current mode. I've got it in wattage mode, 50 watts. You can see the voltage, the resistance of your coil, the current amperage putting out by your batteries, the mode, again, the wattage mode, PCB, and the puff counter. And then the bottom bar down here is for how long your last vape was, just a second counter. Compare that to the screen on the XCube Ultra. There is a lot less information. You only have one battery indicator for both batteries, even though it's a dual 18650. You have your current setting right here, 50 watts. You have it in max mode, that is the max, soft, hard, etc. that Smok has programmed into their devices. You have the resistance of your coil, the puff counter, and then the voltage in the bottom right. So as you can see here on the Alien, it displays it a lot bigger. The screen is much larger on the Alien compared to the XCube Ultra, and you might like the smaller screen, so that would be towards the Ultra. Or you might like the larger screen here, like I personally do on the Alien, and how it shows you each battery individually compared to the single battery in the top right here on the XCube Ultra. Second thing is the firing bar. The firing bar on the Alien is this little click action right here, as you can see. The firing bar takes up the length of the device, but it doesn't really click that much down here. You do have to press a good bit harder, but it just sort of fits. It's like a trigger almost. When you grip it around it, just fire and go. Now the firing bar on the XCube Ultra is also that clicky style. It's not just a single button. It has this whole bar. It does work in that same style, but it's the whole bar, and the same tension on the bottom will still click it just as much as the same tension on the top. It does have a little bit more give than the Alien. The Alien is a little bit more sturdy, it feels like. And this has a little bit less resistance when you do push it in. So those are the two firing bars. Again, I do like the Alien system a little bit better than the XCube Ultra, but that's again my personal preference. I already did cover the size, but the Alien is a good amount smaller, as you guys saw right in the start of this close-up. But it is lighter and it is smaller, and that could be a pro or con. You might like a heftier device, which would be the XCube Ultra, or you might like the lower profile, sleeker device, and that is the Alien right here. Can't really show you in the close-up, but the battery life. I've got better battery life out of the Alien than I have out of the XCube Ultra, which did surprise me a little bit since the large screen on the Alien. I thought that would take up a little bit more battery than this system. But for the comparison, I did have those features off, and I still seem to get more battery life out of the Smok Alien than the XCube Ultra. Now, over-the-air updates, as you see on the bottom right there, OTA updates, Bluetooth. The XCube Ultra can be updated wirelessly without having to connect it to your computer. The Alien cannot. The Alien, you do have to connect it via micro USB. That could be a big deal breaker for a lot of people if you do want the latest firmware update. It is very convenient on the XCube Ultra how you can update it via the OTA updates with your smartphone, Android or iOS. And that feature was supposed to be included on the Alien, but it was removed prior to the release. Another thing on the Cube Ultra here is the light up fire bar. That is not on the Alien. There is no light up feature when you do press it down on the side. On the XCube Ultra, you can customize that and change the color scheme, have it blink, etc. You can do a couple different options with it. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but this is a little extra customization feature the Smok Alien does not have. Now for the final portion of this comparison, here's a 25mm tank, the iJoy Limitless XL on the Alien. And you can see that here, it does sit pretty flush on the Alien itself. Not really any overhang there. Does sit nicely. Of course, this is only going to apply if you're looking to use a 25mm tank. If you're using like a 23 or 22mm tank, this is not going to apply, or a 24mm, but this is for the larger tanks and RDTAs. I'm just showing you here 25mm on the Alien and then 25mm on the XCube Ultra. You can see there it does have like a teeny tiny bit of overhang, and it does come over the screen just a tad bit. Not a big deal. You could still use a 25mm on here without a problem. I just did want to show that to you guys, but like here on the Ultra, it does look fine. It doesn't cover anything usable on the screen, so that's not a big deal, but I did just want to show that to you up close here. Bring it back up top and do a final overview of the comparison on these two devices. All right, now that we got that close out of the way and I showed you guys most of the differences between the two up close, I'm gonna give you my overall thoughts. My personal opinion is the Alien, just because of the size and weight difference compared to the XCube Ultra. I do like the lighter weight, smaller, low profile mods compared to the bigger and heftier ones. Now that has nothing to do with your guys' preferences, and I think they are both great devices. Which features do you like more? Do you like the coloring firing bar, the vibration notifications, the heftier feel? The Ultra's for you, plus the over-the-air updates and the Bluetooth compatibility. That's a huge feature that the Alien does not have. So it is going to be up to you if you do want the more portable, lightweight, and the large screen on the Alien. Like I said though, I have not really done one of these before, so if I did miss anything or you guys want to know anything else, or in the next one you want to see a different comparison, you want to see a different side of it compared, let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to get back to you, and I will try to include that in the next video. In this video, I'm not going to be vaping on it. If you guys want to check out the full reviews of either of these two mods where I do vape on it, show you guys all of that, there will be a link down in the description to both of those videos, and there should be one popping up on the screen here. But the performance from both of them, in my opinion, is the same in terms of actual vaping, so that's why I'm not going to do that comparison here in this video. That is pretty much going to wrap up this video though. If you guys did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated, and as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and vape on.